And so some of the banks have gone a step further. They don't want to be a landlord. They've actually started to bulldoze some of those homes, figuring it's cheaper to manage vacant lots than homes that could draw people into them who'll squat or whatever. So there seems to be a lot of solutions out there. I think people are going to like the Bella solution a lot better. That's where the homeowner stays in the home.
Well, you're absolutely right, Rick. It's just amazing that the banks would come up with a solution to actually use taxpayers' dollars to bulldoze these homes. So it's time for the private sector to have a solution. I mean, the government has had their run on it. These legislators haven't got a clue. These politicians are just don't know what they're doing out there trying to solve this problem. And it's time for a private sector solution. That's what Bella Homes is all about. I believe this is time sensitive. It's about time that the private sector has stepped up and come up with a solution to this really gargantuan problem. And I really think that Bella Homes has an alternative and a solution for so many people out there that are suffering through this financial crisis.
Yeah, you're so right. We'll be getting started here in just a few minutes, giving everybody what that solution is exactly.
Well, it looks like we've got about 2 minutes or so to go here, folks, and we're going to start the webinar right on time. We certainly appreciate and value your valuable time, so we like to start these webinars right on time, even though there are still people just logging on from all over. We're going to start in about 2 minutes, so please stand by.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. If you've just joined, this is Bella Homes webinar/conference call. We'll begin here in just a couple of minutes. We thank each of you for taking your time here this afternoon to be with us. If you're a guest here for the first time taking a look at the Bella solution, a special welcome to you. These calls are designed for our guests taking a look at Bella, the background of Bella, the solution of Bella, and then, of course, a new division that was just rolled out about 2.5 weeks ago. Very, very excited about that. We'll share that with you as well. And we do start our calls right on time. If you are a representative with us, please do make sure that you please invite your guests to log on time, because we do value everybody's time. We do start, again, right on time. We don't want them to miss any part of the presentation. And we're going to get underway here in just a moment. A lot of great, exciting things going on with Bella. And Addison, I'm sure you're going to share a little bit about the firms that are about to come on with Bella during your presentation. And again, just a very, very exciting time for Bella, its solutions, and we'll get underway here in just about a minute and a half to go. And if you are a representative with us already and you've submitted some clients, send me a quick hello, where you're calling in from, what city, state, and let us know what kind of stories are going on out there and how many cases have been submitted. I know that we had one of our real estate agents from San Francisco. I believe she just submitted something like 15 or 18 deals, and has one of her reps that's submitting, I think, 58 deals or something to that effect is what I heard. So a lot of excitement going on, a lot of solutions for so many people out there that are struggling with their mortgage issues. All right, Addison, I'm going to hit the button, and I'll give you a heads up here. Addison, I'm hitting the button now. 5 seconds, you're on.
Welcome, welcome, and thank you for your valuable time. My name is Addison Beverly, and along with my co-host, Mr. Rick Walsh and Sunil Wadhwa, we're independent contractors here with Bella Homes LLC, and we're not attorneys. Can I give you legal advice? And the content of this webinar is for informational purposes only. But you know, this is a wake-up call for all of us living through the recession, partly caused by the mortgage and foreclosure crisis, and for most of us, it's become more of a crisis, really a pandemic. You know, the information you receive now with Bella Homes this afternoon in this seminar for attendees and clients is really intended for educational purposes only. Bella Homes is not a loan modification company, and it's not a mortgage company. And our sole purpose is to purchase residential properties from homeowners and banks, as well as commercial properties for the amount of the underlying first mortgages. And as I said, we're not a mortgage foreclosure company and not a law firm. And Bella Homes does not give consultation or legal advice. Bella Homes' basic strategy is to buy on a wholesale basis from the banks and investors so that we may sell these properties back to the homeowner or tenants at 90% of the then current fair market value of said property. Let's introduce our founder and visionary, Mr. Mark Diamond, who founded Bella Homes in April of 2010. And as president of Diamond Associates out of Scottsdale, Arizona, Mark has been focusing his time on real estate and retirement planning for senior citizens over the last number of years with the A+ rating in the Better Business Bureau, and is a proud member of the very prestigious National Ethics Bureau. You know, Mark has given over 1,800 senior citizen seminars coast to coast as a member of the National Speakers Association. In 1995, Mark founded the Senior Educational Council, a nonprofit senior organization advocacy group, and he's also a founding board member of the California Association of Senior Estate Planners and the National Association for Elder Advisors. You know, back in Atlanta, we've got a tremendous team that's focusing in on the Bella solution, introducing Michael Terrell with over 30 years in real estate law experience and 17,000 real estate transactions closed under his belt. As a matter of fact, just this past Saturday, Michael was in a studio where he was videotaped answering a couple of hundred questions with a full range of frequently asked questions for questions about the foreclosure process for Bella in particular. And you know, we've just brought on a major national law firm that's going to be overseeing many of the states that Bella Homes is involved in, as well as a major CPA firm, Latrouche, who is going to be doing our in-house financing accounting. Kathy Criver, 26 years in real estate, extensive experience in real estate law and settlement negotiations, is overseeing the 50+ attorneys nationally that are working with Bella. And Laura Tabuspour, with 8 years in management customer service support, overseeing our operations and our quality control to our clients. You know, Mark and his team are specifically geared to help all our customers and clients that are out there struggling with this foreclosure crisis. And here's our regional office in Atlanta, Georgia. Soon to be moving over in just a week to new corporate offices, regional corporate offices in Alpharetta, Georgia. And for those not familiar with the Peachtree State, Alpharetta, Georgia is just hop, skip, and a jump outside of Atlanta. Our corporate office in Scottsdale, Arizona, where Mark resides, these are all A-quality properties that are running the operational side of Bella Homes. You know, Mark and the corporate team, you know, they're exceptionally qualified to assist all of the clients the best solutions to help maintain their financial security, independence, and dignity throughout these difficult economic times. You know, the problem is that owning the American home has always been the American dream. But now for so many, it's becoming the American nightmare. Let's take a look at these beautiful homes. Look at Beverly Hills Mansion, perhaps there's one in the Hamptons. There's a single wide out of Pahrump, Nevada, and the Seaside Villa in Maui. Well, you know, they all have the same thing in common. And unlike the death of the Titanic, whether you're in first class or steerage, they all have the same fate, the same thing in common. They're facing foreclosure. It's just truly amazing. You know, Goldman Sachs in 2010 has indicated over 17 million people will be foreclosed on in the next 4 years. This is the tipping point, ladies and gentlemen, the tipping point where there will be more homes in foreclosure than there are being sold in the marketplace. 60%, that's 6 in 6 states, 60% of all the homeowners in Arizona, Georgia, Florida, Nevada, Michigan are either in foreclosure, facing foreclosure, have come to the end of their ability to continue making their mortgage payments. It's truly incredible. You know, it seems like, how did we get into this mess? How did this happen? Well, you know, there were underwriting guidelines were ignored. No longer lenders were verifying income, no asset, no employment. You know, payment option arms, creative loan programs. There's too many borrowers were approved and they weren't qualified. Well, this all created these relaxed lending guidelines. It created the artificial real estate boom, and this created the perfect storm, the perfect environment for predatory lending practices and greed. You know, the victims of predatory lending, 6 out of 10 are in default and cannot continue making their mortgage payments. They have no choice. 5 out of 6 are current, but they're upside down. Their mortgage owe more than what the property is worth. They may be reaching their limit of financial resources. They think they have no choice. You know, well, how did this really happen? Well, how do we get into this mess? Well, the banks took the notes, the obligation to pay, and endorsed the back of them, just like you endorsed the note, back of your check. By endorsing it, the banks monetized it. And they put a MIN number on the back of these notes, like the VIN number that you have in your car. Now they're able to sell them over and over electronically, again, to so many investors. And they bundled them up together with a digital imprint, this MIN number, and dropped them into a big bucket and sold them over and over again. Well, who was the original note holder? They transferred their interest without the benefit of a recorded document, assigned the note, dropped them in this big bucket, and well, this is where the mystery begins. Who then is the holder of the note? You know, when a note is transferred, the obligation to pay stays with the note, and the lender or anybody who takes that note or transferred is entitled to receive payments. But who really gets the payment? Well, this is where the mystery began. What are your options? Well, perhaps a loan modification will be an option. Well, unlike rearranging the decks on the deck chairs on a Titanic, most loan modifications that were put in play are back in foreclosure in the first year. How about a short sale? The lender agrees to sell the property for less than what the property is worth. In a short sale, the homeowner still has to move out. Deed in lieu of. Well, there's an option for you. Call up the lender and ask them to give back the keys and move out. Well, I know, perhaps a bankruptcy. Bankruptcy is only a short process to stop the inevitable. That is foreclosure, which means the homeowner has to move out. Litigation, engaging the services of an attorney for a long, drawn-out, very costly process that has no guarantees, that is expensive. So what can we do? What can we go with this? What is the solution? The politicians don't have a solution. Our legislators don't have a solution. It's time for a private sector solution. We believe that Bella Homes has a solution, because Bella Home believes that families, not banks, should own properties. So let's bring in Rick Walsh here today and talk about the Bella Home solution and what you can do and to save not only your home but all of those of your friends and family and your neighbors. Rick, are you there? Tell us about the Bella Home solution.
Well, I sure am, Addison, and thanks so much for a great job. Bella Homes was formed for the sole purpose of purchasing residential properties from homeowners and banks and commercial properties from corporations and banks for the amount of the underlying first mortgage. The types of deals we focus on are the pre-foreclosures with first mortgage values ranging from $200,000 all the way up to $7 million. And so our strategy is to buy on a wholesale basis from the banks so that we can sell properties back to the homeowner or tenants at 90% of the current market value of that property. Bella Homes, our program basically in documentation, have been created and reviewed by some of the best real estate attorneys, and they've issued the following statements. Our program is legal. Our program doesn't violate any federal or state laws. The closing documents have been developed in conjunction with attorneys, and Bella Homes uses only the best closing attorneys to close our transactions. So let's take a look at a step-by-step process. First of all, Bella Homes educates the homeowner. They then contract to buy your home and give you a 3, 5, or 7-year lease with an exclusive option to buy it back at 90% of the future fair market value. Bella Homes negotiates with the lender to settle or purchase the outstanding mortgage at a discounted rate. At that point, Bella Homes will sell the home back to you for 90% of the fair market value. In fact, if you made all your lease payments on time, they may even be the ones that will finance you to buy the home back at 1% over prime. Bella Homes will either negotiate with the lender to purchase the note, or they're going to file a lawsuit against the lender in court with evidence that they find in a forensic audit. So you live there at about 1/2 of the monthly payment through the lease option and get to repurchase the home at 90% of the then current fair market value. You know, on other types of solutions, the homeowner doesn't get any kind of breaks. With government bailouts, it's the lender who wins. The lender gets the mortgage insurance, and money from a sale or an auction or the movement of the note all goes to the lender. None of that goes to the homeowner. So what can we do? Well, we can negotiate to buy the note from the lender at a discounted rate. Bella Homes, basically, we have the solution. Our primary objective is to avoid eviction, stay in the home, and control the property for as long as possible. In a forensic review of the mortgage, our attorneys find discrepancies in more than 90% of the mortgages reviewed. Once the discrepancies have been discovered, our attorneys draft a lawsuit outlining the same. And Bella Homes uses these irregularities as a tool to negotiate purchasing the mortgage at a discount. You know, here's where the laws are now in our favor, as long as you have the legal wherewithal to enforce those laws that are written for you. As far as the fees that are concerned, there are no upfront fees. You will get a 3, 5, or 7-year lease option with monthly payments at about half of what your current mortgage was. The only thing you put up is your first and last 2 months lease payment at the time of closing. You will have the exclusive option to repurchase the home at 90% of the future fair market value. And you know, all of those payments that you've been making for 3 years, you'll get a credit for 60% of all of those payments back on the purchase of the home. There's a lot that's in your favor with the Bella Homes program. Unlike the short sale or foreclosure, you don't have to move out. There's no uncertainty, and you can repurchase the home with the Bella solution. So you have a debt forgiveness possibility, as well as savings, as well as options that you don't have in the short sale or foreclosure. You can even regain equity without worrying about a possible deficiency judgment that would have been good for about 20 years. You get peace of mind with the Bella solution that you don't see in the short sale or foreclosure. Here's an acquisition form that can be filled out. This one's on Joe Smith, our fictitious homeowner, and this shows that with the Bella solution, using his numbers down there at the bottom, 2G, he has a new equity in excess of $94,000. So let's go through and see what it costs to take the Bella solution or eviction or foreclosure. With the Bella solution, you have to come up with 3 lease payments, let's say $1,500 average, $4,500 to stay in the home. But remember, your mortgage would have cost you $9,000. Now, if you're evicted or short sale, it's still going to cost you $5,000 to $7,000 just to leave the home. How is that? Well, first of all, typical bedroom, 3-bedroom, 2-bath rent, about $1,500 a month. You'll have to come up with the first, last, and the security deposit. That's $4,000. Then you have to turn on the utilities, another $500. The stress of moving, whether it's a van that you rent yourself at $500 or hire a moving company at $2,000, you're out of pocket $5,000 to $7,000 just to move out of your home. Doesn't seem like a good program to me. So to recap the Bella process, Bella Homes will purchase the home from the homeowner in step 1. Then they issue the homeowner a 3, 5, or 7-year lease, their choice, at about half of what the mortgage payment was. So now the homeowner lives in the home stress-free. Even the next-door neighbor didn't know that the title changed hands. Now Bella negotiates with the bank on their own behalf in step 4 because they are the homeowner at this point. And in step 5, they will, if the negotiations don't work, Bella will file a lawsuit. So important to remember that Bella will spend whatever it takes in legal dollars to fight. That's so important to you, it's not out of your pocket. And then finally, as we come full circle, the homeowner repurchases the home back for 90% of the then current market value, and Bella deeds the home back to the homeowner. A very simple solution that's a win-win for everybody involved. So as we take a look at the next picture here, you'll see a lot of homeless people living in tents. This could be during the Great Depression when they had soup kitchens in tent cities. This could actually be a third world country. To see exactly where it is, I'm going to turn this back to Addison. Could you give us the background on this tent city picture, Addison?
Sure can, Rick, and what a great overview of the Bella Plan. You know, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we are. This is who we have become. These shanties, these tents, these squatters, these are not third world citizens in a third world country. This is not some border town in some isolated, obscure part of the world. These are your neighbors. These are our friends. This is your family. This could be the man or woman in the mirror. This is the American River Homeless Shelter here in Sacramento, California, in the shadow of the State Capitol building, February 2010. These are not dope addicts. They're not derelicts. And these are not some panhandling drunks on the street by choice. These are our people, citizens of this country, on the street because of this pandemic that we're all suffering through. Now it's time to do something about it. The time is now. Bella has a solution, and Bella has time to make the change. Thank you for your most valuable time. If you have been a guest of this webinar, please get back with the person that invited you. Should you be interested in the compensation model Bella has developed to increase or supplement your income, please stand by. I'd like at this time to bring back Mr. Sunil Wadhwa to talk about the exceptional compensation plan and overview for those who are interested in this exceptional opportunity to join the Bella Homes team and keep more families in their home. Sunil, are you there?
Great job, gentlemen, and yes, I am here, and thanks everyone for staying for this part of the webinar as well. Not to belabor the slide on your screen, but I think most of us are certainly aware of what's going on in the economy, but the facts are extremely clear. We're losing our homes, our equities, our jobs, our savings plans are disappearing, our pensions are being bankrupt, and our 401s are kind of like 101s, if you will. Social Security's in trouble. Here's where we're going. Even if you are gainfully employed today, we all need a plan B. Certainly those that are unemployed today absolutely need a plan A, and we've got an incredible plan A or B, regardless of what situation you may be in. Let's jump right into our compensation. As we mentioned, this is a new division of Bella Homes. Bella Homes has been around for over a year and a half. This division, which is very similar to the real estate industry or the insurance industry, it's the MLM concept, is the comp structure that is unreal. Unbelievable. In the 23 years that I've been in business, I've never seen any company that has put this kind of money on the table. So please pay very close attention as we share with you the current business that Bella has developed over the last year and a half. Their least amount that a client pays is $1,000 on a monthly basis to take part in their program. The highest client is paying $13,000 right now on a monthly basis. It's a commercial property. Just to be very clear, Bella does accept not only residential property but also commercial property. And again, this client is paying $13,000. Their average client right now is $1,747 on a monthly basis, and we're going to round that number down to $1,700 for our example here. So how does our compensation structure work? Well, based on that monthly payment, in this example $1,700, we take 85% of that number, or in this example $1,445, is put into the compensation plan. And here's how our comp plan works. As a brand new representative, you're making 45%, or in this example $650.25. As you move up the structure, and we are going to release a document that explains how to do that. It's very simple actually how to move up our structure. Let's assume that you've all moved up to the 50% level. At that point, your new customer client that you bring in, and again, they're paying, say, $1,700 in this example, your commission then would be $722.50. But what if you had just recruited me as part of your team as well? Well, I start off at 45%, but you're at the 50% level. You make the difference of your level and my level as your override. So in this example, you would make $72.50. I'm sorry, $72.25 as an override. And let's say now that all of you have moved up the structure to the 75% level. At that level, your next client that you bring in paying $1,700 a month, your commission would be then $1,083.75. However, let's say that you've accomplished that 75% level, and now you're really actively recruiting again. And let's say you brought in 10 people, and they all started at the 45% level. As each one of them brings in one client this week or this month, whatever that might be, they all each make $650.25. But guess how much you make as an override? Well, you're making the $433.50 on each one of those 10 deals that closed. So in this example, 10 deals, you've just made over $4,300. So again, as you can see, very lucrative compensation on your personal production, as well as very lucrative compensation as you build a team, whether that's one person or 100 people or 1,000 people. In the long run, there's some very serious significant override commission. Now, that was only income source number one. Again, as you bring in that client, they're approved, they go through the process of closing, they bring 3 payments to the closing. On that first payment, we pay you that commission right out as illustrated. Income source number two, as that customer continues to pay on a monthly basis, you're being paid what is called residual income. If you talk to the insurance industry, they absolutely love residual income because it's income that you earn for doing something today. You're getting paid on an ongoing basis, as in our business model here at Bella. That client paying month 2, their $1,700, Bella takes 10% of that, or in this example, $170, and puts it into the comp structure, which we pay 8 levels deep. Rick, I love the way you explain the tremendous benefit on this monthly residual. Come on back.
Well, yeah, I mean, so much of us are used to in network marketing residual income, and that's normally based on what's known as an auto ship, the monthly shipment of products to all of our clients and customers and distributors, normally $100 worth with shipping and tax $130 per person, and we normally make 5% on that, or $5. Well, this is like our auto ship. The only thing is, our auto ship won't be canceled after 3 or 4 or 5 months. It's a 3-year lease or more, and it doesn't pay $5. It pays 3 to 7 times that, $17 to $34 per month per client. You know, really puts other comp plans to shame. As well as on the third part, the annuity. You know, I've got an example. Once you explain what that is, that just shows how lucrative this program can be, Sunil.
So let's talk about that. Now, the third part of your compensation with the company, again, we've covered the front end, we've covered the monthly. Now, on the back end, when that client repurchases their home from Bella 3 years, 5 years, or 7 years from now, remember, they're going to buy it for 90% of the value at that time. And in my personal opinion, I believe 3 years from now, those clients coming into the program that are going to be ready to repurchase, the values of the homes then are going to be less than now, so they even get a much greater value. Again, my only personal opinion here. But they get 90% plus they get 60% of all the lease payments that they've been making for the last 3 years that are credited to them as well. So what it turns out to be is somewhere about 80 or less, somewhere in there percent of the value of the home at that time. So in this example, let's say this customer is repurchasing their home at $300,000 for round numbers here after their discounts and benefits and credits and so on. In this example, we're going to take 8% of that $300,000 or $24,000 and put that into the compensation structure to pay the agents and the team members as a whole. So, Rick, come on back.
Well, yes, you know, we always talk about what if you got 5, who got 5, who got 5, and by the time you got to the 10th level, you have the population of China. You know, I'd like to give you an example, much more realistic, and it's just an example of how the math works. It's not an income projection, but if you happen to get 3 individuals into your organization, and they brought in 3 and they brought in 3, and that was it. That's 3 on your front line, 9 representatives on your second line, and 27 representatives on your third line, a total of 39 people in your entire organization. And you did 1 deal per month, 1 client per month for 1 year and stopped. Do you realize in the first part of the plan you'd make about $70,000? In the second part of the plan, the rent, you'd make about $80,000. That's only on the first year's rent. You got 2 more coming in. That's like $150,000, $160,000 in your pocket on 39 people doing one client a month. The real kicker is on what you just showed them, what we call your annuity or retirement plan. When those homes were sold back to the original homeowner, that put another $1,400,000 in your pocket. That's $1.5 million plus 39 people doing one client a month for 1 year. I've never seen anything like that before. Have you, Sunil?
No, I certainly haven't. The other point that we want to have you really keep in your mind here is that you'll be bringing clients in that, of course, will have perhaps a little bit less of a monthly lease payment, maybe a $1,200 or $1,500, but you also have clients that'll be paying $2,000 or $2,500 or $3,000. How do you figure that out? Well, all you do is take 85% of that first month's rent that they're paying, and then you figure out what level you're at, 45 to 75%. By the way, beyond the 75%, there's another 25% that we also do pay out as what we call breakaways. Again, all of this will be explained in the document that we'll be releasing, but wanted to make that point as well. So 2 reasons why you'd want to join Bella as a representative. Number 1, some very serious dollars on the table for the representatives. When Rick and I approached the CEO of this company, Mark Diamond, one of the things that was very critically important for us was that if we wanted to see the company grow rapidly, and more importantly, if we wanted to see a lot of people being helped with a Bella solution, the best way is to take care of the field. And Mr. Mark Diamond understands that because he's been in the field for 20 years in the insurance and annuity world, and he understands that. So we went to work to put a very lucrative compensation structure, and it certainly has paid off, as we mentioned earlier. In just 2.5 weeks or so, we've already reached now 42 states with hundreds of representatives joining and hundreds of deals coming in, which is very, very exciting. Number 2, this is really also what excites me, is that many of us are coming into the Bella program with our homes because we find ourselves in the same situation so many people in America do. Well, those of you that are becoming clients of Bella are going to have to make a monthly payment. Well, what if you could offset that payment? Well, you can very easily by just bringing in a few deals on a monthly basis. And certainly those of you that are interested in developing a team, which we certainly hope you are, you can certainly offset your monthly expense on your home very easily with this comp structure that we just went over with you. Now, there's a lot of different marketing things that we're also going to do, but I will tell you again that in 23 years, I've never seen anything go so viral. And the reason is very simple. There's a huge, huge need, of course, as we've talked about, for this program that Bella offers. And number 2, because of our comp structure that we have put together, as just illustrated, it is attracting people from all walks of life joining the company as not only reps but also as clients. But look at this postcard that's on the screen right now. The company's created just a beautiful piece here that really, really says it all. The front side of it, as you can see, the house upside down. On the back side is the solution, the Bella solution. The other thing that we're going to run here very soon, we'll get some information out to you probably in the next couple of days, is a national radio campaign. In the previous company, Rick and I, we ran 160,000 radio spots with our previous company that helped us grow an organization. We say this very humbly, but in less than 6 months, we grew that organization to nearly 10,000 people. And a lot of it had to do with the radio campaigns that we're running. We have a friend of ours that buys radio time for very, very inexpensive amount of money. He's been doing it for about 40 years in New York, and he got us onto shows like Glenn Beck, Rush Limbaugh, and whether you like those guys or not, here's what they command for a 60-second spot. $5,000 for one 60-second spot, simply because of the tremendous reach that they have with their audience. Well, we got on those shows for like $30, $40, $50 a spot. Other shows across the U.S. that command $100 to $300 a spot, we got them for $8, $10, $12, $15, $20 a spot. So we're putting a package together now. So what does it mean for you? Well, for the first 100 that participate, we're probably going to limit to 100 people in the first go-around. It's not mandatory, of course. It's totally voluntary. Each of you will probably kick in somewhere about $250 to $300 a spot. The radio ads will run with 1-800 number throughout the country. All leads will then come into an automated system, and those of you that are participating, those leads will simply funnel out to you electronically one at a time. So just keep rotating and rotating and rotating for those people that are participating in the campaign till the campaign ends. And it's generally about a 2-week process. So for $250, $300 for a spot, when the commissions that we're paying out are so huge, it's just really going to be unbelievable. In fact, we've already got a lot of you sending in an email saying, hey, I want a spot. So if you do, send us some information. I realize you don't have all the information, but again, people are already taking their positions. And again, we'll get more information out to all of you here in the next couple of days on that. All right, let's talk about state by state and where we are doing business. Bella Homes is conducting business in all 50 states right now. All 50 states. They have closed business in about 18 states already in the year and a half. And the only reason they didn't close business in other states is they didn't have the sales force that we are now amassing here with the new division. Now, all states, you can submit business other than California. Although they have closed business in California over the last year and a half, they are stopping the production here in California for about 30 to 45 days. And the reason is this. There's been recent changes in law, and they want to be absolutely 100% clear that they are compliant. They already have 2 law firms that have given Bella the green light to open up today if they wanted to. But because they want to err on the side of caution, they've gone after a 3rd opinion letter from a major law firm here in California, and they expect that sooner than later, but they've asked us not to submit business in California for the next 30 to 45 days. Now, in saying that, they are willing to have you submit your client's homeowner profile. By submitting this profile, your homeowner can get an approval or a denial from Bella. The nice thing about doing it now is that they will save time. Should Bella get a clearance here shortly, that step would have been taken care of. Now, if you're a rep anywhere in the country and you're submitting a client here in California, you must do it in a manual process. The manual process simply means that you send your client a 2-page PDF along with a 1-page disclaimer. That disclaimer simply illustrates, outlines to your client that Bella is not taking business in. However, they will take your profile and give you an approval or denial, but they will not process it any further than that one step. The other thing that that profile says, or the disclaimer says, and we want you guys to be very careful as rep on this, is to make sure that if the client is in any kind of harm's way, if they have any certain deadlines or their home is going for foreclosure, trustee sale, whatever, please advise them not to sit there and wait for Bella's approval here in California, because it might be 30 days or it might be 3 years. I'm exaggerating that point, but to really overemphasize my point, and that is please do not have your clients wait around for Bella if they are in any kind of harm's way. Okay? Now, the rest of the states, you are free to submit business on your website. Here's kind of a very simple process. You would want to get your client some information about the Bella process. How can you do that? Well, there's a sizzle call that Rick Walsh has recorded. We'll give you a number for that in just a minute. There are webinars like this that we're going to do on an ongoing, consistent basis. We're doing another one this evening, at 6 o'clock Pacific time. There'll be 2 more tomorrow, and we're going to put out a whole schedule for this week. And eventually, these calls will be on your replicated website. Okay, so again, if I'm a rep anywhere in the country, I've got a client that I want to share the Bella program. Get them onto the sizzle call, get them onto a webinar, then send them to your replicated website. There they can review a very comprehensive FAQ set. Probably by today or tomorrow latest, we're going to have a 35-minute interview that was done with the lead counsel for Bella Home about 2 weeks ago on a Saturday. He addresses about 17 to 18 different questions, the most commonly asked questions. In fact, he was also in the studio this last Saturday, 2 days ago, where he recorded 80-plus responses to the most frequently asked questions. There are going to be all video responses. There are going to be some that are 1-minute responses, some that are 2-3-minute responses, and that whole library will be on your site. You know, we are in a soft launch, ladies and gentlemen, right now, but we've accomplished so much, and those things are going to be added to your website here very quickly. Once your client goes to the website and reviews the FAQs, checks out the interview process through with Michael Terrell, the in-house counsel, then they can submit electronically on your website the homeowner profile. It takes literally 5 minutes for them to fill that up. There's no fees that they have to pay. There's no commitment that they're making. It's just simply giving Bella some information so they can evaluate and give them an approval or denial, and from that the process starts. Okay? Now, mortgage amounts of $200,000 to $7 million. Mortgage amount of $200,000 means does not mean the first, second, and third combined. It means that the first must be at least $200,000 to $7 million, and commercial properties of $500 to $20 million. Now, as far as professional fees paid to you for bringing this business in, here's how that works. In each state, the professional fee can be paid without a real estate license on the front end, and the monthly professional fees will be paid to you. But on the back end, when the client actually purchases the home, that does require a real estate license, but again, you don't have to worry about that for the 3 years, okay? Now, what does it take to come on board with a company? Well, it's a very minimal $99 fee to become a representative. There is an online training that you must take, pass a test, and that information will be sent out. In fact, Mr. Walsh is creating a letter that will be sent out to all the representatives here today with some information on the training program and the process of that. We also have an incredible replicated website. It is an optional whether you want to participate in that or not, but for $49, the massive amount of information that's on that site, and one of the main objectives of this division is to keep things very simple for the representative. In fact, we are creating a step-by-step system where most of the heavy lifting is done really by Bella and corporate. We really don't want the representatives doing much other than bringing the client to the table and following up with certain steps, which are very, very simple steps. That site will have, again, the recordings that I outlined earlier. It will have a tab, a Hall of Fame tab, so to speak, that a lot of top people are joining the company. A lot of people that have real estate experience, insurance experience, MLM experience, so on, and we're going to showcase some of these top people that have done their due diligence. They understand the Bella concept, they approve the Bella concept, and they've joined as representatives. They're bringing clients to the table, and you'll be able to hear from them. There'll be a tab on your replicated website which will have our CEO's message to you as to all the high-level questions that he's been being asked. That'll be covered as well. Beyond all of that is that you have a person at the corporate office kind of holding your client's hand through the entire process. So you get all of that for that $49, which we feel is very minimal for such a very robust website that you're getting. If you're not a business owner, and it really does amaze me, ladies and gentlemen, that how many people in America that are working as W-2 employees today do not understand the benefit of becoming a business owner in the United States. You see, if you're not a business owner, you need to become a business owner. What happens by paying the $99 is you now become the status of a business owner along with your W-2 employee status that you have. We're not here to give you tax advice, and we will refer you back to your CPA for that, but there's some significant tax advantages that you can take benefit from as you become a business owner. Bottom line is the bottom line. With this lucrative compensation structure that we have, you can add a lot to your bottom line, and in our opinion, the greatest part of our compensation is that working smart, not hard, by leveraging yourself, by building a national team of representatives that you are linked to, and you're earning some significant override commissions. So what we'd like you to do now is to get back together with the person that invited you, and they will send you to their replicated website, which will be whybellahomes.com/ whatever their name is, Bob Smith in this example. You'll do your due diligence, read the FAQs, go through the entire site if you like what you see, and we certainly hope you will. Then you'll want to become a representative, and you will click the Representative Enroll Now button and follow the very simple process to become a representative. Once you do that, you will instantly get your replicated website where then you can send clients and potential representatives to your site. If you want to submit your property into the program, you will submit that only on the site of the person that referred you to Bella. And it takes 5 minutes, literally. Put your information in. Again, no cost. Bella will then get back to you within 24 or 48 hours and let you know if you've been approved or denied. By the way, that process is being automated where you'll know instantly, or your clients will know instantly, if they've been approved or denied, and that will be up and running probably within the next couple of weeks. Our next webinars are for tonight at 6 p.m., and we're going to do 2 more tomorrow, which will get the information out for those links here this afternoon as well. Sizzle call, 209-647-1441. You can have your prospects listen to that sizzle call and then come on to the webinar for further information. And here's the information for Bella. Bella Corporate Office, 678-638-6381. If you are a client or looking to become a client, it's clients@bellahomesllc.net. And if you are a rep or becoming a rep, it's reps@bellahomesllc.net. Now, big favor to ask of each of you. We ask that you please not contact the corporate office till you've gone through your entire due diligence. Again, listen to the sizzle call, get on a webinar, go to the replicated site. Please review everything on the replicated site. Read all of the FAQs, and the reason is very simple. We would like to have our home office staff stay extremely focused on doing what they do best, and that is to take care of your clients. People that are struggling with their homes, they have certain issues at hand right now. We don't want to address the very simple questions that you can address for yourself or work with the person that invited you on to Bella in the first place. Please get your questions answered. And if you can't get your questions answered after taking all those steps, then and only then please submit your questions into the client's or rep email address shown on your screen. And with that, we want to thank each and every one of you for being on the call. We're extremely excited about where this company is going, and we hope that you are excited as well as we are, and we look forward to working with each and every one of you. Thanks so much for being on the call. Please take full advantage of the call this evening at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Invite the world onto that call, ladies and gentlemen. We can handle 1,000 people, and we're going to max out these lines with your help. Let's go out there and help as many homeowners and individuals that want to make more money in their world. Thanks so much for being with us again. We look forward to working with you. Bye-bye.